They are two cities with their own charms, with their own quirks, but today we are going to give you the answer to the question, which city is right for you? And at the very end, I'm going to give you guys a secret for each city that may make it or break it for you. Hey, I'm Drake Abshire. I'm a local realtor here in Lafayette, and as we compare these two cities today, make sure that you reach out to me if you're thinking of moving to this area. Or, of course, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to help you. Let's talk about the overall growth of each city and which one is growing more. Well, if we look at Lafayette and its history, over the years it has had steady growth. We've done a really good job, I think, of preserving our culture, which is really strong, very strong Cajun base, and also modernizing our infrastructure. Whereas when you look at cities such as New Orleans or Baton Rouge, I think they have been a bit on the slower side with trying to modernize their infrastructure or make the city have a more modern feel. I think we've done a really nice job of making sure that it continues to grow and that it continues to really not lose the flavor that made Lafayette originally such a Cajun mecca and such a beautiful hub in the middle of Louisiana. Now, Baton Rouge does have lots of booming developments. It is a college town and they do have lots of things that they offer in Baton Rouge that we don't have here. The Mississippi River goes right through Baton Rouge, and so because of that, you have a lot of industries that are utilizing the river. There's different casinos that can float along the river. As crazy as those laws are, it allows people to gamble in those areas. There's lots of different places where you can go and watch concert series. There's different restaurants. There's larger buildings in those areas. You do get more of an urban, vibrant scene when it comes to there. And because of that, you know, with the college town, LSU being right there, there's just lots and lots of residents that flock to the area for those different purposes, not only for jobs, and of course the people that all support those education systems. So you'll continue to see that. Well, Lafayette, I like to say, is very friendly. I've grown up around this area and I do feel like for years it's always been strange to some people over the fact that everyone waves to each other. A lot of people, as far back as you can really think for this area, a lot of them are family, or there's a lot of large families that are all related here. So if people were asking how your family's doing, it's not because they're trying to be nosy, it's because genuinely they may be asking about a family member or a cousin, or down deep we really think a lot of us are related. There's a tight-knit community that you can find. There's a laid-back feel, I think, that comes with Lafayette. Even though we have city vibes compared to some of the neighboring suburbs in the area, I do think we don't feel the hustle and bustle of a city like New Orleans. Whereas with Baton Rouge, there's a dynamic energy about it. It's energetic. There's this college vibe atmosphere, lots of young energy there. There's a lot of party areas that happen. LSU is one of the biggest party cities in the country. So because of that, you're going to see there is a lot of bars and restaurants and breweries and all these things, all these festivals and the tailgating that happens. Of course, the Mississippi River is nothing beautiful to behold. I guess it depends how you look at it, but it is one of the largest rivers in the world, so the size of it is pretty incredible to see, to drive over the bridge and to really look at it and the vastness of it. As far as the water goes, I mean, you have boats that are always moving up and down it, and it really has a lot of sediment. It's very brown, so it's not a very pretty river, but I guess it does give you the river ambiance that you might be looking for. If you do enjoy the look of a river but don't plan on swimming in it or really interacting with the river very much, just having it nearby, then yes, of course, Baton Rouge does have that. There are some walking trails along the levees, and there are different parks and different areas that you can also access in Baton Rouge. There is the Lake Center, which a lot of people do like. It has a very swamp vibe. It's very big. There's lots of trails that all the way around it. People will bike and run along those areas. So that's some of the different things that you can expect with some of the areas in Baton Rouge as well. Well, comparison of average rent. Well, in Lafayette, you're looking about $1,200 on average for a 2-bedroom apartment. Whereas with Baton Rouge, you're looking at about $1,300 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Is that a vast difference? No, you're not really looking at a major price difference between the two, but you can obviously see that it does tend to affect by $100. Let's talk about the comparison of home prices. Well, if we take the average priced home in the Lafayette, Louisiana area, we're looking at anywhere from about $225, $230, all the way up to about $250, $255 for your average home. That's usually the home prices that you can find. Again, it's based on how old the home is and the location that it would be in. But in Lafayette proper, you would expect to find closer to that $250 price range. And of course, if you venture out a little bit from Lafayette or one of the smaller or more starter home type suburbs, then of course you can find that leaning more toward that $220-ish mark. Now, if we're looking at Baton Rouge, the average home prices are a bit higher. We're looking at anywhere from the $255 to all the way up to $307 being the average home price for that area. I know that's quite a large gap, but that's because there is such widespread size to Baton Rouge. So there's lots of neighborhoods that can really start to have a feel of Lafayette for its home prices. But then as you get closer into the city or in some of the prime locations, then of course you'll see the prices of the homes drive up. Now, what do you get for the price in each city? Well, it really just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a townhome, I would say, of course, you're going to look to pay a bit more in Baton Rouge. Those types of homes are on the rise because it is tighter. They don't have as much space as Lafayette has. If you're looking for the average family home that is in new construction, what you can expect in Baton Rouge to pay a higher price tag than you would in Lafayette. Newer construction is going to be more expensive, especially if it's in prime areas. Same thing can go for Lafayette, but Lafayette's new construction prices, if you're not in directly Youngsville or any of those, we have places or neighborhoods such as D.R. Horton or DSLD which have much more affordable options, and you can find brand new construction homes all the way in the $225 price range to $230 and $240. Overall, what city do you think would offer more value based on cost? Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I do think Lafayette does offer a bit more bang for your buck. When you're comparing Baton Rouge to Lafayette, you will find that what you're going to pay for to be in the center of town or in prime locations, it will be more expensive than what you would pay to be in prime locations in Lafayette. Is the cost drastically different from each other? No, it's not very drastic. It is a difference and something to be aware of, but if you drive through each city or you get to know each city, you should be able to decide for yourself which one is more of the vibe that you're looking for. Now, of course, if you're thinking of moving to one of these cities, one of the worst things that you can do is get stuck with a bad realtor. So if you're thinking of moving here or you have any questions, please connect with me and my team. Reach out to me. I would love to show you some of the best places to live and help you guys make the best decision for you and your family. Now, let's talk about the crime rate for each city. Something to be aware of and something that people want to obviously be knowledgeable about. Well, the safety in each city at night is generally what people are most interested in, right? Because during the daytime, everybody feels a little bit safer, work is happening, people are busy, but then nighttime things get quieter. What's the general consensus or vibe? Well, Lafayette, when you're looking at crime rates, when we're looking at statistics online, we are saying that Lafayette does generally have a safer and lower crime rate than Baton Rouge. That is just the facts that we're seeing online. Now, Baton Rouge, they do have areas that are known for higher crime rates, but of course, it's just like any city. There are safe neighborhoods, and you can find those in either city. Both cities have places that you can feel safer. Everyone has a different threshold. Everyone has a different vibe that they're looking for. So I encourage you, go in the morning, go during the day, during lunchtime, go at night once everybody's off of work. See what the vibe is, what people are doing in the neighborhood, and you will have a good feel of whether or not it would be something that you and your family would enjoy. The safety of each city overall is pretty good because I spend lots of time in Baton Rouge. I have lots of friends there and I venture there. Some of my favorite restaurants and my favorite people to visit all live there. I don't feel not safe in the areas, and Lafayette's the same. Just be aware, be cognizant, practice safety. It doesn't matter what city or how safe someone says it is. You could be that very, very small percentage that experiences something bad somewhere. But overall, I would say the vibe is safe for both cities. It really just comes down to which one is more of what you're looking for when you look at the overall picture. Now let's move on to the fun stuff to do. Lafayette has its fair share, but so does Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge does have a lot of nightlife. It has a lot of places and things that you can do, which has more so than Lafayette. I do think there are more rooftops that are amazing to visit and restaurants. Lafayette, I think, has better restaurant as far as the options that we have that are quite amazing. But Baton Rouge does have some really vibey, very divey, and very special places that I do think I still love and enjoy eating at. There's live music, there's outdoor events and festivities that you can enjoy when it's not sweltering hot. We have tons of festivals that you can always look for. It's pretty much always based around food or some type of animal or creature, and you can really find a little bit of something for the whole family. Lafayette has a lot of strong culture, I think even stronger than Baton Rouge. So if you're really looking for a culture that is more diverse with arts and food and festivities, then I'm thinking Lafayette would be the better option for you. But if Baton Rouge is more your vibe, you're looking for more nightlife, more partying, more rooftop bars, then of course that's going to be the vibe for you. Now let's talk about the food in each city. Both cities have great cuisine, and each city brings something to the table that I think is worth enjoying. Some of my favorite Cajun restaurants are dishes that we have here in Lafayette. Of course, I would say is I love boiled crawfish, I love crawfish etouffee, I love gumbo. One of my favorite little places that I can get Cajun items that taste like home cooking to me is Rochelle's Cafe. It's one of those places where you really still get the Louisiana flavors that you're looking for. There are places like Cajun Table. I've had some very good seafood that is there and available. If you're looking to Baton Rouge, I would say there's Building 5. That is one of my favorite restaurants there. It's a farm to table style type restaurant, meat and vegetables and lots of different sauces with it. I've really enjoyed the cocktails there. Superior Grill has also been very, very high on my list as one of my favorite places to eat. The good thing is that you can get it in both locations. So if you choose Baton Rouge or you choose Lafayette, you get to try Superior. It is a Tex-Mex style food. They have great margaritas. I love their chips and salsa. Try the brisket tacos if you happen to go. They even have brisket queso, which I think is divine. And so I definitely recommend trying it. I think you would enjoy the cuisine. We have great options for everyone, but I do think if Cajun food is what you're looking for, Lafayette is definitely going to have stronger amount of restaurants and places that you can go for. Amazing seafood. If you're looking for more diversity, like more Asian restaurants or multicultural type restaurants, I think you will find that more in Baton Rouge. Let's talk about the current state of the real estate market. The market really has been pretty stable and slowly growing. Everybody thought with the changing of the economy, with the high prices, that we were going to see a lot of a crash, so to speak. Prices really have stayed pretty steady. We have not seen them come down at all. If anything, over the past 5 years, we've seen nothing but major increases in price points. You can say that the market is healthy. Overall, we are seeing positive trends happening in the Lafayette area, and it's going to continue to happen as all the cities around continue to grow. You have places like Scott and Youngsville, which are really starting to grow very, very quickly. So because of this, it is going to continue to drive our prices up, especially if we see rates come down. You are definitely going to start to see prices start to rise again. Baton Rouge overall has had a positive trend as well, but we know it also can be a fluctuating market. There are times and areas in Baton Rouge that seems to do really, really well and stay healthy, and then there are other areas that have been down areas or where they're just not selling as hot as they used to. So with Baton Rouge, the real estate forecast, they're saying it's looking like it could be close to 5 to 6% increase over the next 10 years of overall sales prices with the market there. When we look at the overall forecast for the real estate market in Lafayette, they're actually predicting the sales prices to only increase about 1 to 2% in the next 10 years. I do think that is a bit on the more conservative side, because from what I've seen in the past few years, things actually rose pretty quickly. And I think that with all of the things that are starting to develop and happen, I do think it's going to be on the rise much faster than what we've seen before. The job opportunities in each city are obviously starting to increase. We've seen lots of new businesses. There's a new solar company, there's Amazon, there's tech companies, there's the hospitals that are growing and expanding. So with all of these systems and all these things happening, job opportunities increase, which moves people to the area. More people moving means more people buying homes, which means demand goes up. Overall, the outlook for each city really looks good. Go explore each city if you're stuck between the two and decide which one has the vibe and the overall feel that you're looking for. I think either way you're not going to go wrong, except for you might be stuck with a worse realtor than me if you do Baton Rouge, because I'm over here in Lafayette. But I can always find you somebody in Baton Rouge who I think will be able to help. Like I said, I'm here in Lafayette, and if you're thinking of moving, make sure you reach out to me. I have a wide network, so if Lafayette wasn't for you, or you're leaning on a little bit more towards Baton Rouge, give me a call. I'll make sure that I connect with you with one of my friends that's over there, and I know they will take great care of you. Now, if you're still in your research phase, just make sure you check out this video right here about why some people say Lafayette is the fastest growing city right now, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.